tough opponent coming up. I think Ole Miss is playing great. They're actually ranked ahead of us in the net, as I looked at it last night, which speaks to the fact Ole Miss is an NCAA tournament team. And so we've got a team that we know is going to be in the NCAA tournament at the end of the year, playing here in Guam. And we're going to have to play our very best to have success.
Emma's got the microphone. Raise your hand. We can start with Adam here in the front, or Joel, whoever wants it. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I know it's only January, but I have a short attention span. You mentioned NCAA tournament. Do you consider yourself an NCAA tournament team at this point?
Based on the net today, but that's a fluid thing. But bottom line is, that they just have a big time quality win they're coming off of against Auburn, and they won on the road at Vanderbilt. And I'm just looking at their resume, and they're in the 20s. So they're a team that, in my mind, the way they're playing, the way they played all year, will be in the tournament at the end of the year. They've been in that field for quite a while now. If you look at some of the projections.
You guys have won 9 in a row, of course, before Monday night or Tuesday night and things. Just how did the guys have they responded since the South Carolina game and bouncing back, knowing they've got a rivalry game on Saturday?
We got back here on campus about 1:30 in the morning on Wednesday morning, and so we basically had Wednesday off. That was our off day for this week, and they came back and had a good practice and good focus yesterday, and we spent a long day shooting, watching film, having a practice, and today obviously will be shorter now as it's less than 24 hours before we play because it's a noontime tip-off. But I thought they responded well, and we'll have another hopefully good practice today.
Coach, how well do you know Kermit? I know his dad was around a little bit last year, year before. I can't remember when he was here for a game or something. But how well do you know Kermit? How long have you known each other?
Well, I remember when Kermit was Tim Floyd's assistant way back in the days when they were at Idaho. So I've known Kermit, a little bit since then at that point. And, we've been friendly, especially since I've been here at Mississippi State, because, his dad is a great guy and former player and coach here. And, lives up just close by in Tupelo. And so, obviously a lot of Bulldog ties with their family.
Go to Logan, the coach's left.
Ole Miss has a lot of the same personnel back this year. In what ways have you seen them change with Kermit, his system that he put in?
I think that all those kids are a year older, a year more mature. I think they've really worked incredibly hard since the new staff and Kermit has arrived. And you can see it in their bodies. I think they've done a good job getting stronger in the offseason, but just a lot of work in the gym. And, Schuler's playing extremely well, and he's really been, a kid that from his freshman year to his sophomore year is usually your biggest jump year as a player, and he's definitely made that jump. He's very good, and they're point guard and leader. And, Tyree is an all-league player in our league. He's really playing well, and he was fantastic in their last road win at Vanderbilt with 31. And, he's a very good player who can really shoot it with range. And they're a good shooting team. You look at their offensive efficiency, they're way up there near the top of the country. They shoot 38% from three. They're one of the top free throw shooting teams in the country at 76%. They have a good defensive efficiency, so they play both sides of the ball. And Davis was fantastic the other night. He's been good all year. I mean, his three-point percentage is outstanding on the year. When you look at Davis, he's shooting 42%, and higher than that in the conference, and he's doing a great job rebounding the basketball. He's their leading rebounder. I think he leads them in assists, rebounds, and the second in scoring. So he's having a really good year. And their big kid, and who's really done a great job for him. How do you pronounce his name? Olenichik. Very good. Thank you. Olenichik. He's a good player, and he's done a lot of nice things to them, setting screens, taking up space, he's scoring around the basket, very good passer. He has a good skill level when you watch him play. He really has a lot of things going for him. So, we still have two really good freshmen too, and Henson, who started every game for me before, and then Buffett, that's their four-man. Those two guys split that time for the most part, and they're really, really good players, and they're both stepped up and had huge games. I think Buffett had 14 against Auburn, and Henson's been great all year, so, they've got a nice rotation.
Go to the back of the cameras.
Giving up offensive rebounds was a problem at South Carolina, and then you look at Ole Miss with Olenichik and Bruce Stevens and some of the other. They got some size down low. Has that been one of the major emphases since you guys got back from Columbia?
Yeah, we definitely want to block out better than we did down there and get everybody rebounding. They beat us on the boards in Columbia the other night by 7 rebounds, and that was a huge difference in the game. They outboarded us by 7 offensive boards and then 7 for the game total. And so we've got to definitely do a better job at everybody rebounding. Doing a better job with our transition defense. Our transition defense was very, very suspect in that game as well.
Go back to Logan over here.
Only 2 points off the bench in that South Carolina game. How do you get more production out of those guys? You attribute a lot of that to
That's my fault, though. I think I said that on the air after the game, and I mentioned that in my post-game comments. Playing time. I need to play Tyson more minutes, and that was a critical error in judgment on my part in that game. And same thing with Robert Woodard. Needs to get more minutes for us, and then we've got to just be more productive.
How much of that do you think, half your bench rotation is freshmen? How much do you think that was just first game SEC on the road jitters?
You know what, I'm sure there was a little bit of that. That's over now.
Any other questions for Coach? We'll go over back here to Adam.
Coach Schaefer remarked about the women's half of the league having a lot of parity. I think with Alabama and Kentucky, obviously Ole Miss and Auburn, and then LSU flips it and beats Alabama. Do you see that's a similar kind of parity in this league and kind of knocking each other off depending on which team has the best league?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this league, we knew that going in. Top to bottom, there are no breathers. There is no easy game in the SEC. Every game is going to be an incredibly difficult, competitive fight each and every night. Without question, when you look top to bottom of all the major conferences in the country, I just believe strongly that ours is the best. 14 teams, and anybody can beat you on a given night, and you can beat anybody on a given night. I believe that.
Sort of on the topic of parity, probably about a month ago, I don't think anyone would have had any question who the better team in the state of Mississippi is, but you've seen what Ole Miss has done recently. Saturday's game sort of feels like that, who's the better team in Mississippi. Are you surprised that Ole Miss is as good as they are this year?
I'm really not. I thought that the talent that was left behind was good talent. I really did. And, we know that. Those guys came from a program. They had a tough year last year. The previous years, they've won 20 games, 4 years in a row. So they had a pretty good culture. Andy did a good job there. And, they had the down year a year ago, but I think it really got revitalized. And then to come with new enthusiasm and, really a very good experienced coach like Kermit, I think, they've taken it and really built something that is strong. And they've had, they're doing it with those veteran guys, with the exception of those 2 freshmen. All those guys are good players, and they've really worked hard, and, you got to credit them for, how hard they've worked and their talent level and how well they play together.
We'll go back to the cameras again.
With your experience building a program here at Mississippi State and then seeing what Kermit is doing at Ole Miss, just from your experience, what are some big aspects that go behind building a program, especially like, Ole Miss tying its win total from last year already, this fast start for them, what would you attribute that to?
I think building a great culture in the off season and having good enough players that can execute and really buy in. And those guys are good. I can tell you, Tyree can play anywhere in the country. Davis can play anywhere in the country. Any program in the country. That's how good I think those guys are. So they have some big time players, and they're very well coached. And a good culture.
Anything else for Coach Howland before we get Eric and Abdul in here?